All right. Hello, and welcome back to part 9 of Sudoku with Tsvetii. I am your host, Tsvetii, and today we'll be playing another medium puzzle, and we will be getting just into it. Once again, shout out to api.razzle puzzles for the website and the free brain games. Not a sponsor, but just fun nevertheless. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get on with our ones. We do know that one has to be there, so we have solved all of our ones. That was pretty quick. We saw that ones had been blocked here. We already had this space filled with the ones, so one had to be there, which means that the other one had to be there. We are looking at this. We know that 2 has to be here because 2 is blocking here, blocking here, blocking here. And now we know that the last 2, or second to last 2, is right there since everything else is blocked. And then we know 2 is there. And we've already solved 1s and 2s already. So hopefully this will be a expedited episode today. And then we will see that 3 has to be here. And then we know 3 has to be here since we have 3s on both of these rows. And that is it for the 3s. We are done with 3s. This feels like I'm in the Twilight Zone. This feels fake. Is this AI? AI Sudoku with Tsvetii in 2026. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, I'm going to date the video here and say that the Super Bowl was pretty this year. We do know that 5 has to be here and here. I thought, as I was watching the first half, that it was pretty boring overall. I mean, it was fantastic defense on both ends. And the proverbial dam just had to break in the second half for both teams because they were both playing aggressive and jumping over routes and just playing very aggressive zone defense. And, typically in those situations, if you're able to rush 4, which is what the Seahawks did all night, that's an amazing recipe for success. And it was a very dominant win. So shout out to Kenneth Walker III. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out Sam Darnold. Not a Seahawks fan, but a football enjoyer. So we will go on with our 5s. Not really mini 5s. Agatha is already perusing my legs right now because I am elevated because I have my standing desk up. So I am standing. We do know that 6 will have to be here. And we know that 6 has to be there or there. Nothing much else we can do with 6s at this point. But it's started hitting record about 30 seconds before I started this video. And Agatha quite literally jumped up my leg to get my attention. Probably up to my hip and just clawed in slightly and then let go. Because she wanted a snack. So I tricked her and I didn't give her a snack. I gave her her food. And she sniffed it, ate 2 or 3 of it, and now she is calm. So I am slowly gaslighting my cat into thinking that she will not get treats anymore. And hopefully it works. Because I don't want her to end up like her sister, Kiki, who is quite rotund. Anyways, we actually do know that 8 has to be here in the middle. Since 8 has to be here in the middle row here, we know that 8 has to be there, or actually has to be here since it's the only one missing here. So we can solve 5 right there. Kiki just hopped out of my chair and rotated my swivel chair into my stomach. So thank you, Kiki, for that. Quite a lot going on right now. So if we know that 8 has to be in the middle here, we know that 8 has to be up top. And then 8 has to be in the middle over there. And then we know 8 has to be there or there. Any other things we can solve with 8? Not at this time. So now we will move on to our 9s. We know that 9 has to be here or here. And since we're already here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we know that this has to be a 7. We know that we are missing a 5 over here, which means 5 is over here, which means that 4 is right here. 4 is there. And I think we have gotten all caught up. So let's get back to our 9s. If we can. I normally try to avoid doing that because it's, better for my mind and thought process. of continuing continuing to record and be like, oh, explaining what I'm doing. As far as just like logical and linear thinking in that sense, we do know that 9 is in this column, so that we know 9 is in this column over here. So this will be a 9. And then we are looking pretty good on 9s. We will start back up at the number we do not have, which is 4. So we know 4 has to be here or here. Where else can a 4 be? No, 4 has to be there or there. And not many other things we can do with the 4s, unfortunately. We know 4 can be there or there. In this column here, I mean, it can technically be there as well. Then we'll go to our 5s. We know 5 is in the middle and the bottom. We don't really have any other... well, we know 5 actually has to be down here, since we have 5 coming down, blocking these two, and 5 blocking this last one. So we know 5 is down here, which means that this row has to have the 5. And then we know 5 is over here. So we know that 5 and 6 are here, and then 4 and 9 are there. And since we know 4 and 9 are here, 4 has to be over in this column, and there's 4 blocking this, so this is a 4. I wrote 5. Let me get back so I can make sure I have all my notes, which means that this will be a 7, which means this is a 7, which means this is a 7, this is an 8. But back to our 7s, we know that this will be a 7, and that is our 8th 7, which would mean that is our final 7 for the puzzle. Assuming that this is the last one, that'll have to be a 6, which means that we have a 6 down here. And we know that 5 or 6 has to be there, and 6 has to be there or there. So this is going to be 4, 5, and 6, but we know that there's a 6 and a 4, so this has to be a 5, which means that this will be the 6, this will be the 4, and this will be the 5. So we are still looking good so far. We know that this will be the 4, that'll be a 5, since 4 and 5 are both in this column, and that there's a 5 over here, so that had to be the 4. So now we know that this will be the 9, and this will be the 4, the penultimate 4, because that'll be the last one over there. So if we know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that'll be 8. This will be an 8, which means this will be an 8, and that'll be our last 8 for today. We've got a 5 and 6 over here, which means that this will be a 9. This will be a 6, and we are missing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And just like that, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Not bad, not bad. Hope you have enjoyed today's Sudoku with Tsvetii, and I will catch you next time, which is tomorrow. And I will hope that you all have a wonderful day and or night wherever you may be, and I will catch you tomorrow. Goodbye.